Who became Mr. and Miss Money in the Bank last night? We'll tell you as WGS-TV reviews WWE Money in the Bank for 2018. Hey YouTube, are you ready for your hot tag? Because if you are, it's definitely time to work.
Times NWA World's Heavyweight Champion Scrap Barnett appears, and you're watching WGS-TV.
What's up, guys? It's been quite some time. I'm the Wrestle Gamer. Welcome back to another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. Joining me on the review today, guys and gals, you know him as the Studley Man, Ashley. Ashley, how you doing?
I blame Brexit.
Now, it's been some time since I've done a review, and that's because I've been quite active on Twitch as of late, becoming a Twitch affiliate, playing games, doing live reactions, and promoting independent wrestling, such as...
And also because they actually give you fucking money on there instead of YouTube's doing monetization things. Wink, wink.
But when I noticed that the YouTube channel was still growing despite the lack of uploads I've been doing, I just had to pick it up again, so I'll be active on here and on Twitch. I want to give a few shout-outs. First off, I want to give a special shout-out to Andrala2012 on Twitch for raiding the stream last night during Money in the Bank, as well as Fresh Meat UK for the host, and a special shout-out for Lee in the chat last night with a $20 donation that was greatly appreciated for sure. And also,
you see, YouTube, this is what you're not fucking doing, you bastard.
Also, a special shout out to Jay the Outsider, who joined me and Ashley last night on the live reaction stream. We'll be live again tonight during reactions to Monday Night Raw on Twitch, so guys, come hang out. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Money in the Bank. The kickoff match was for the Smackdown Tag Team Championship as the Bludgeon Brothers defended the titles against Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson. Now, Ashley, is it just me or WWE just completely underutilizing Gallows and Anderson considering all the great work that they did as part of the Bullet Club over in New Japan?
Well, yeah, but, you know, that's when you have too many eggs in the basket. And also, let's be honest, the tag team division on either brand is sort of crap.
And it's not just them either. WWE is really not using their talents to the best of their abilities for some reason, and I believe a lot of it has to do with backstage politics. And trust me, it won't be the first time I will mention politics in this video.
I don't know who you're thinking about.
And for first-time people onto the channel, I don't need Donald Trump and whatnot, so save the hate comments. As for the match itself overall, it wasn't too bad of a match, but WWE's been putting some stock behind the Bludgeon Brothers, so I kind of figured they were going to keep the titles on them for now. Putting them on Gallows and Anderson, however, wouldn't have been a bad move. The finish of the match was Rowan and Harper hitting the Bludgeon Bomb, as I call it, the double-team powerbomb, on Luke Gallows to pick up the win. Zodiac Drake on the reaction stream last night said that he couldn't get past seeing Festus when he was looking at Gallows last night. I don't know what else to say about that.
That's a bit of a shame because they actually are a good unit, but the problem is they're not given a proper sort of chance to shine. You know, the tag team, I mean, so much so that the tag team division is an afterthought. The Raw Tag Team title match, which was supposed to be happening, disappeared off the face of the planet.
Yep.
I thought they were going to do that and tie it into bloody... And again, Jeff wasn't even on the show. So what a great tie into the Hardys. Huh?
Official opening match was Daniel Bryan taking on Big Cass again. One thing I'll say about Cass is he's really learned how to draw some good heat from the crowd, but that can also be contributed to the fact that Daniel Bryan is one of the most over guys in WWE right now. But after two back-to-back pay-per-view matches with Cass losing both of them via submission, first one was an immediate tap from the guest lock, and last night was a heel hook submission, which kind of makes me wonder if WWE's trying to make that move a new signature for Bryan. Actually, this angle with Cass and Bryan should be squashed.
Well, the rumor has that because of the shit you did to that midget that one time, if you remember, that's why he isn't getting pushed anymore, because he went against WWE's guidelines. So really, it's Cass being stupid in like trying to make a bigger spot when, you know, it probably didn't need to help it anyway, because beating up midgets, it's such a very carny thing to do in this day and age when, you know, it's just not really that big a thing unless you're into the right sort of promotions that still deal in the carny style way. And then at the same time, it feels like it's just a waste of Daniel Bryan. I don't think Cass is a talent that is on Daniel Bryan's level.
Well, there'll be a lot of people out there who will agree with you.
With Jeff Hardy or Rusev or anybody, Cass has still got to make his name. It's like Constable Corbin and all that. They pushed him and nobody cared because nobody cares. That's the factor.
Let's take a look at the next match. It was Sami Zayn taking on Bobby Lashley. This build to this match was just absolutely awful creatively. I'm left wondering what WWE was thinking with this angle. It's like they have their own mindset and they don't listen to the actual fans who watch and respond to their product. That's why I believe Vince needs to take a step back and let someone like Triple H run the product, because seriously, look at the success he's had with NXT since he took the reins for it. NXT, and especially with the takeover shows, have consistently been more entertaining and fun to watch than the main roster product. Prime example, I was emotionally invested in watching TakeOver this past Saturday after the second match. For Money in the Bank, I was emotionally invested in taking a nap. Vince, please open your eyes and ears and listen to how the fans are responding to your product, or in this case of Zayn versus Lashley, didn't respond. Because honestly, go ahead.
The problem there is Chicago. Chicago's a wacky town. I mean, let's see if I can quickly see where Raw is tonight, because I don't think it's in Chicago. I don't think they're holding the same building like they do. Grand Rapids, Michigan. If they are dead for Bobby Lashley, Sami, if they even want to try and continue it on as a storyline, if there's no reaction to it, like there has been on Raw for the past month or so, that's when he should sort of get the memo that, yeah, perhaps we shouldn't, in all honesty.
The finish of this match was Lashley connecting with 3 vertical suplexes to pick up the win. You heard me correctly. But anyway, let's get off that snore fest and get up to the Intercontinental Championship match as Seth Rollins defended the title against Elias. And after the snore fest of Lashley versus Zayn, this was a welcoming match in my opinion. Elias drew heat immediately as usual before the match, which woke up the crowd in my opinion, who were basically dead in the water, asleep. Rollins definitely woke them up even more with his Burn It Down entrance, and Lord knows all the jokes Ashley made about that one last night, and the energy he brings. However, what really sold the match for me was how well it was worked, because it had you believing that Elias was on the verge of his first championship in the WWE, and that's how matches should be worked, keeping the audience interested for the entire duration of the match. And like I said before, no one was interested in Lashley versus Zayn, and I still say it's not their fault. It's how badly the angle was booked. This was not the case, however, for the Intercontinental Championship match, as the finish of the match was Rollins using Dirty Pin Roll-Up, rolling up Elias, holding onto his pants to pick up the win. The one question I have to ask Ashley is, why does holding onto the pants or tires prevent someone from kicking out at that point? For fear if they did, that their pants would come off?
I don't know. It's always the heel thing, having a handful of tights, getting the extra leverage with the grip, you see. As if it's harder for the person to actually kick out of. So yeah, the fact that Seth had to resort to heelish tactics just means this feud must continue at Extreme Rules. Probably, I'm going to call it now, it's probably going to be something as pitiful as a guitar on a pole match.
Yeah, definitely. Up next, it was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, as it was Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Ember Moon, Lana, Natalya, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte. When you look back, honestly, at what they did last year compared to this year's Money in the Bank ladder match, It's a step up for sure. The women in the match didn't look scared to take ladder bumps or do spots involving a ladder or off the ladder, case in point Ember Moon and Naomi. Naomi honestly has come a long way since she was a Funkadactyl with Brodus Clay. I wonder how many people remember those days. And she's really come into her own as a performer in WWE. What can I say about Ember Moon that hasn't been said already? She's awesome, and she proved how good she was last night, but like I said already, it's my opinion, but hey, this is my channel too. Charlotte didn't disappoint in her performance in the match, and one person that impressed me a bit was Lana. This was Lana's first Money in the Bank ladder match, and for her lack of experience in the ring, she held her own quite nicely and had some nice spots. Sasha and Becky both looked great, and so did Natalya, and in case some people are wondering, yes, I'm looking at the match from an optimistic point of view instead of a pessimistic one, which some people are accustomed to doing in the YWC. But when you boil it down to the actual finish, the rumor mill was a kindling, and for once, what they said came to fruition as Alexa Bliss grabbed the briefcase to become the second Miss Money in the Bank. But however, this would not be the last time we would see Alexa, but we'll address that when the time comes. Ashley, I gotta ask you, thoughts?
I saw it coming. It made sense because the whole Carmella thing, it didn't make sense for anybody on the Smackdown brand to win anything. But then at the same time, you know, Sasha's obviously got her thing with Bayley, which I want finished before anything. Ember's only just come up but had a chance to really sort of shine. Who was the other Raw person that I can't remember?
On Raw?
Yeah.
See, it was Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, Natalya.
Yeah. Natalya in a... Wait, you were actually in this match? That's how memorable she was. Becky had her moments. Lana did very good. I hope this gives them more confidence to actually put her into women's title storylines somewhere down the line. And again, that is going to happen because we got this stupid Riot Squad, Sonya and Mandy shit that's still going on because stables are still a thing in women's wrestling. Naomi did good, but yeah, that's what you'd expect when she's married to an Uso. By the way, I think they're dead because they never showed up anywhere. Charlotte was decent, and then, you know, Alexa made the most sense in terms of winning because Team Little Big. It was the thing that made a lot of people actually pay interest.
Yeah.
To that Facebook thing, whatever, mixed match challenge. So
yeah.
Give it credit.
Do I really have to talk about Jinder Mahal and Roman Reigns? Can I just say the finish of the match first? Okay. It was Reigns hitting the spear on Mahal as usual to pick up the win. Now, here's something I want everyone to think about. As much as the fans voiced their disapproval of this match last night, I want to bring up one thing. They actually got a reaction from the crowd. Can't say the same thing for Lashley versus Zayn.
I mean, true, but the problem is the crowd were openly trying to not give a... Rather than just being boring, terrible booking, which led to a match which probably would have been good because of who was in it. You've got Jinder, who isn't really over, that some people resent because arguably the way he enhanced himself, whether it be synthetically via needles or just in the gym, you know, there's a lot of resentment there behind the guy that they've been pushing for 3 years now to be the face of the company, and they're booking him in such a way that it's like they're trying to force feed it. It wasn't even this bad with Cena, and I know they're doing all these things because it's like he's getting the same reactions as Cena, he must be over. It is by far much more of a resentment because at least people knew that Cena can have adequate matches and bring out the best in people. Last night felt like a match which should have been on the pre-show of, I don't know, Billy's promotion. Even in, it's only in front of like a couple of hundred people. It just lacked a lot. And also, Jinder, can you get plastic surgery on your nipples, please? Because they're sagging more than bloody Dolly Parton's tits on the 4th of July.
Right.
I think I made them laugh, everybody.
Up next, the Smackdown Women's Championship was on the line as Carmella defended the championship against... Hold on. Up next, the Smackdown Women's Championship was on the line as Carmella defended the championship against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Now, am I going to be biased on my own review here? Yes. Now, for those of you who don't know me and come to the live streams on Twitch every day, you'll know the reason. For anyone new to the videos and the streams, let's just say I'm a big Asuka mark. I'll leave it at that. However, the dirt sheets and rumor mongerers were at it again, reporting that James Ellsworth turned down a booking this past weekend for unknown reasons, which of course started everyone talking. Now, normally, I take what they say with a grain of salt, but however, this time, they nailed it again. As Asuka was getting ready to put Carmella away and win her second championship, the first one was the NXT Women's Championship, someone showed up on the ring apron disguised in an Asuka mask and cloak. When revealed, it turned out to be none other than the Chinless Wonder himself, which distracted Asuka, allowing Carmella to hit a super kick to pick up the win and retain the championship. And now, Ashley, for the sake of being professional, in my videos, I'll refrain from using improper language and vernacular that would perceive me to be just another mark on the internet.
Well, it was done well. My problem is this a short-term thing? Like when bloody Great Khali helped Jinder Mahal for just one match and then just disappeared forever? Or are they actually bringing him in because they realise Carmella can't carry it her alone? And she needs somebody to act as sort of a makeshift manager, if you will, to sort of just help her out because she's getting there, but she isn't really perfect yet, and I don't think she's perfect sort of championship material just yet. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of potential there, but I just think that perhaps with him sort of making, because the idea is we're going to make her out as being a champion that is sort of fluking and getting wins via shenanigans and whatever. Just like how she cashed in, just like how she retained against Charlotte, the last month or so. That is a key gimmick that she needs to keep with as long as possible.
Up next, the WWE champion. Oh, go ahead.
From what we can clearly tell, that James Ellsworth doesn't know how to wink. I don't know what that was. Did he have a tick on his face or something? Like bloody hell.
Up next, the WWE Championship was on the line in a last man standing match as AJ Styles defended the title against Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this is their third match this year since WrestleMania, with their last match ending in a draw at the Great Royal Rumble event.
Well, no, technically it's their fourth, because they had that match against each other on SmackDown to determine who would decide the relation as well.
Yeah, you're right.
They've had too many fucking matches.
Right.
Styles Nakamura 5. When will it end? Well, by the looks of the result, now.
Yeah. Now, I know a lot of people would frown at repeated matches such as this, but when you look at the caliber of talent involved in the match and how entertaining their past matches have been, As you can see, there's somebody in the back right now is watching Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles. How could you have a problem with it? Yeah, 4 times is enough. I will agree. But if WWE continues to push this angle further, they will start to lose people because there are so many times you could put the same people against each other before fans start to lose interest. Styles and Nakamura, however, pulled off some great spots, nice usage of weapons, and for once the Spanish announce table didn't suffer. After kicking a field goal with Shinsuke's
Balls!
Thank you. Styles would connect with a phenomenal forearm that would send Nakamura crashing through the English announce table, to which Nakamura was unable to answer the 10 count, giving the win to Styles as he retains the WWE Championship. Ashley, the question now becomes, where do they go with both men after this?
I mean, I'd like to see AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe or versus Daniel Bryan or all that sort of combination that could be really juicy. Nakamura versus Jeff also would be fun if they wanted to keep him immediately in sort of stuff, unless they position Nakamura as being the guy that faces Orton SummerSlam, because he's going to be coming back sooner rather than later. Also, the kick is good. That's all I'm saying.
Up next, it was the Raw Women's Championship match as Nia Jax defended the championship against Rowdy Ronda Rousey. This is the first singles match for Rousey in WWE, and the first time I reviewed a match of hers, because I never got around to doing a WrestleMania review this year, so I do apologize for that one. I will admit, I've been skeptical of what Rousey can do ever since she made her first appearance back in January at the conclusion of the Women's Royal Rumble match. So I was looking to see just what she could do on her own, and I have to say I was quite impressed with what she did. And so was the crowd last night. Both women really were very impressive with what they did. But once again, here comes that bugaboo of the rumor mill. And they were 2 for 2, so the question became, were they going to go for 3 for 3? Rousey had Nia trapped and was about to torque her arm for the armbar when Alexa Bliss came out of nowhere and assaulted Rousey with the briefcase, officially giving her the win via disqualification. Bliss continued the assault on the outside before turning her attention to her former friend, wearing her down before cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase and winning the Raw Women's Championship once again. Now, Ashley, with Nia contractually obligated... Hold on, 1, 2, 3. Now, with Nia contractually being owed a rematch, and with Rousey now having an issue with Bliss for what she did, do you see this turning into a triple threat angle for the Raw Women's Championship?
No. I think that it's going to be Nia at Extreme Rules and Ronda at SummerSlam. They'll stagger it. Because I don't think you're going to see Ronda till SummerSlam. They're going to keep her for the big events, for the big network buys, for those that still would want to buy on traditional pay-per-view and pay her too much. It's going to be the draw of her. So they'll just keep it as is, I think. In all honesty, though, I mean, to correct you, it wasn't really rumors that Alexa was going to cash in. Whatever. That was my thoughts, but you construed it as being rumors because I was saying all the other stuff. It just made sense because although it was a terrible build-up and everything as to what happened with the whole Nia's a bully, especially when you take into account that Alexa was bullied herself because of her size and because, you know, she was anorexic for a time and whatever. Just creative didn't deal with it well. But the thing is, those moments of bliss that she was doing, even in character, was so good. It was just like, I don't know whether they've sort of felt that Nia wasn't ready to run with it yet. Just because of the report that she apparently rumored she reportedly injured Alexa. Thankfully not substantially, but injured her at the Backlash match.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Alexa hasn't really injured anybody in her work. Nia needs to go through some more. To be honest, and the problem that hurt Nia as well was the booking that she had in the run-up to this match. Because those first couple of weeks, ever since the NBC casting call, she was acting all heelish, despite everything that Alexa said about she's the bully, and Nia's going, I'm not the bully, I'm the victim. So then she goes and basically bullies Ronda for 2 weeks. And to some extent even did so on the Go Home show. But sort of being a tweener and everything, so it makes sense. The big thing though is Ronda is still looking very good. She did a lot of nice moves and whatever. Those judo takedowns were really good. She's got the selling arts now down somewhat. She's, there's obviously still room for improvement because it's only her second televised match in any way, shape, or form. So there's still some work can be done there, but this is the beginning of possibly something beautiful. Let's see how it rolls around. I'm guessing she probably won't show up in Grand Rapids because Grand Rapids is beneath Ronda Rousey, probably. Let's just see how juicy it gets in terms of the build to SummerSlam, because I think that's where it's going.
Finally, it was time for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, The Miz, Braun Strowman, and Kofi Kingston. I did like how the New Day did the reveal, first teasing that it was going to be Woods, but he would then later reveal that it was Kofi on his chest. Ladder spots were up.
Keep in mind,
Go ahead.
The thing you need to know there, again, it was the rumor mill that was saying that Big E was going to be in. Okay. That was the tentative early plans. Obviously, that didn't happen. And in all honesty, when you think about ladder matches, the first name you think of is the boy, Kofi Kingston. So,
Yep. Now, ladder spots were aplenty in this match for sure, and that's to be expected. It's a ladder match. Now, will we get a holy crap moment this year? I believe we got several. First one being Strowman throwing Kevin Owens off the 20-foot ladder on the stage, effectively removing Owens from the rest of the match. Another one...
He might actually be dead. We haven't heard anything from him since.
Another one that comes to mind is Balor's coup de grace off the ladder from outside the ring into the ring. And I have to say, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Miz's reaction to seeing Strowman wipe out everybody on the outside and marching into the ring.
Well, no, because I'm trying to remember. He threw Owens off the ladder. He was gone. Took out Kofi on the ramp. Took out Joe on the ramp. Took out somebody else. Then took out two people that were holding ladders by literally running through the ladder and knocking them to the floor. And he just was at ringside. And because Miz is so good at the looks and the stares and everything of wrestling, the stare that he just gave, having been witness to this ladder just got destroyed and he just nearly murdered everybody, was just sort of like, it was at this moment he knew he fucked up. It was like...
The finish of the match would boil down to Strowman climbing up the ladder with Kofi Kingston on his back, then shrugging him off once he got to the top of the ladder and taking down the Money in the Bank briefcase becoming what he said he was going to be, Ash, the Monster in the Bank.
Which was not what the rumor mills were saying. Because the rumor was it was going to be somebody getting the briefcase from each respective brand to sort of like be fair. But then again, with Alexa cashing in as quick as she did, it sort of makes sense. Then again, I don't know whether they did this because this is going to be the knee-jerk reaction as to whether they pull the trigger on Roman not being champion when he beats Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Because I fear that's what it is. Because to be honest, Braun should beat Brock at SummerSlam without the briefcase and have the briefcase be a Smackdown issue. But we'll see how it goes. I ain't got my fucking hopes up, though.
Well, anyway, guys, time for overall score and thoughts. The trend these days is that NXT TakeOver outshines whatever main roster pay-per-view follows it. NXT TakeOver Chicago was indeed a great show, but it doesn't mean necessarily that Money in the Bank was that bad of a show. Sure, there were matches and moments that made me go, why in the world are they doing this? But overall, both Money in the Bank matches were good. I thoroughly enjoyed the Last Man Standing match, and I was definitely impressed with what Rousey did with her in-ring work with Nia Jax last night. Overall score of Money in the Bank gets a 3.25 out of 5, with Best Match of the Night going to the Last Man Standing match, and Worst Match of the Night going to Lashley versus Zayn for the absolutely dead reaction and lack of interest they had. Do I need to repeat myself about the Reigns Mahal match? Anyway, Ashley, over to you, your thoughts and your score.
I'd say overall it was a good enough show. The ladder matches were the show that they needed to be. The title matches all were good to very good. Probably noting that the best one of the lot probably was the AJ Nakamura match, mainly because it was just given more time and everything.
In excess of 30 minutes, I believe.
31 minutes or so, yeah. The Jinder Roman thing, I'm sick of saying that it's the worst thing because nobody listens. So yeah, as long as the Lashley Zayn thing doesn't go any further, it's still the worst bit. If it's just like chapter 1 and we have to have another match at Extreme Rules, dear fucking god, perhaps it'll be that towel that Bobby's sister used on a pole or some stupid shit like that.
Jeez.
I don't know. But and the other issue as well, I know it's special because it's Money in the Bank, but 4.25 hours, not even including the pre-show. Try and reel it in, guys. We're already suffering from an overabundance of wrestling product from you. You know, not even taking into account like Total Divas, Total Bellas, Miz and Mrs. and all that sort of stuff. We need to fucking breathe. That being said, more fucking UK stuff, please.
Well, guys, that's been our thoughts on Money in the Bank, and I just want to say at this point in the video that more than likely you're going to be seeing this after Monday Night Raw tonight, so I'm sorry if you guys were expecting to see anything the night that you see this, but we'll definitely still be live every day, doing gameplay streams, live reactions, independent wrestling. We just have a lot of fun over on twitch.tv/WrestleGamer. So if you want to come have some fun with us, you need to go to twitch.tv. And of course, you can still have a lot of fun right here on YouTube by doing the two things you need to do. Leg drop the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to turn on notifications, so that way you guys will never miss out on another video right here on my channel. So with that being said, for the Studley Man Ashley, I'm your friendly neighborhood Wrestle Gamer, reminding all of you guys out there to stay awesome. Bye guys!
What you said.